Alright, so I also did Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And I started off with kind of like basic shapes to make the bears, but I decided that I didn't really like it very much. I thought it looked too like human-like. So I went with more of a masculine triangle for the papa bear, and then the mama bear I kept the same, and then the baby bear I made like round to show that he's more like baby. But I decided that I didn't really like that either, so I went with just a common bear look. But I didn't really like the color of it either, so I went with a little brown, a little darker brown. And I didn't like that either because I thought he looked too happy and nice and too simple. So here I decided to add like more masculine qualities to it, adding the claws and everything. I also added like the black belly to make him look more like a bear, I guess. And changed the face to make him look more mean. So this is the final papa bear, mama bear, and baby bear. And then I worked on Goldilocks. I started off with a basic triangle and a circle and some squares for the feet. And I added some color after that. And then I went on to adding a face. And I didn't know if I liked the yellow or not, so I tried a black dress. But I thought that looked too weird, so I went back to the yellow and added some brown feet to it. But I thought that was too plain and simple, so I added the hair. And after that, I decided that it needed some more definition to it, so I added the outline on the hair. And then I added more to the dress to make it look more like a dress. And then ended up changing the legs because I thought they were too big for her body. And then I went on to working on the house. And I started off with a three-dimensional house facing the right, and I didn't like that, so I rotated it. Then added a different colored roof, and I thought the yellow just didn't go right with the house, so I made it black. And I added the door, and then down here I eventually added a window and more to the door to make it look more like a house. And I decided to change the roof to white, but it just seemed like it would blend in too much with the background. So I went back to the black and added a side door. And then I started the scene off with the three bears leaving the house and Goldilocks getting ready to leave or enter the house. But I thought that was just too plain of a scene, so I added like a walkway. But I didn't really like that either because it made it seem like the perspective was off in the drawing. So I added trees instead, and I just didn't think there was enough of them, so I added some more, and then added leaves to them. And I made them yellow because it kind of made me think like Goldilocks was walking through the woods to get to the house, so I tied the two colors together. And then my second scene, I started off with her eating the porridge, and I thought it was just too plain, there was nothing there. So I added some background and her into a room, and also for the porridge, I put steam on the one to show that it was too hot, and then the other one I kind of tried making it look like it was frozen together, like it was too cold. And then the one that she's sitting in front was just right. And I didn't think that was good enough yet, so I changed the color of the chairs in the background to brown being like the papa bear, the mom being the black, and then the gold one being the baby bear, which is the one she ended up choosing. So I kind of like tied in the two colors again, showing that she picked the one with her color. I still thought it was too plain, so I added a window and a rug, and then made the rug smaller and added a tree in the window to show that you can see outside. And then here I decided to do her in the bed, and I made the papa bear bed really big, so it made it seem like it was too big for her, and the mama bear still too big, and then the baby bear fitting just right. And I thought the room was too plain, so I added some windows and a door. And then still thought it was too plain, so I added the pillows. And then I decided to add the bears in with it and showing that baby bear was really upset that she was in her bed, or in his bed. And after that, that was it. So then I went back to showing the three scenes, and these are the bears leaving again, her inside the house eating the porridge, and then them finding her in the bed. And that was it. Billy?
I think you did a really nice job on showing your process work for every scene, every character. I think it just gave us a better understanding, or I like how you explained to why you picked what you did.
Thanks. Brent?
I really like how you did the scenes, but one thing I do need to ask is that, which scene was it? One of the scenes, the bears look mad, and then the finished scene, the bears look happy.
Yeah, I decided to change it halfway through because it didn't make sense for the bears to be mad leaving their house because they're going on a walk. They're not like upset yet. So in the first scene, I changed it to them being happy. And then in the ending scene, I made it so they were mad because they found Goldilocks in the bed. Nate?
On your second scene, your perspective is off. Like, it should be getting smaller towards the back, and it's actually getting bigger.
Yeah, I was having a hard time getting the rug to form that way and everything, and along with the table. So I decided to try to make it less, I don't know, I just couldn't figure it out very well. But I agree. Joey?
On the third scene, could you go to the one right before your final one? That. I think the lines, the windows, they have a shade, and then the final scene, I noticed that it went away. So I don't know if you caught that or if that was an accident.
Yeah, I caught it halfway
You caught it, so
through.
yeah,
So I
I
changed it.
thought that was good that you caught that, and then left it in there, and the process worked too, which is good.
James?
With the scene with the table, I think it's really cool how you like made this theme and maybe three options like different to show like the audience, like show the different sound of the chairs. You made it show that like she was in a very full chair because it's color sound.
What?
I think the yellow chair kind of doesn't really work with the white. I think you could maybe use like a black outline on it, just to make it just like a little more.
Alright. Sammy?
Along with Ben, I think it was really good seeing like how your work evolved and how much work you put into it. That's good.
Thanks. Brendan?
Your ending scene, one of the bear's claws is white. The mama's bear.
Nice catch.
There's a little more to say, and please say it loud. We're not hearing all these comments back here.
Jesse?
I liked how you put the bears, like, you took up all the floor space, so they're not just like all crowded around.
And how,
Okay.
and how you line them up with their actual beds, like you put it, you associated it with them so you know which one is which. That was good.
Thanks. What?
I think it's cool how the baby bear is like pointing at her and accusing her. That was nice. Show no action.
Thanks.
I thought you did a really good job with like all the details and everything, but with the background, I thought there was a lot of white. You could have made like one side of the wall with black background, so it just showed it.
Yeah, let me say a few things that I think are really especially good here. I like the fact, you'd be amazed, I mean, I've seen a lot of Goldilockses over the years in doing this, and the number of people who feel that Goldilocks is so purely innocent that she has to be garbed in white. I mean, after all, she is the home invader here. And if you've ever had somebody leave a 7, 8-year-old girl with you for the afternoon, you know that it's a real problem. And she's actually, the design on her dress and everything prevents her looking too angelic. So I think that was a very good touch. Plus, putting that triangle there, even though it's modified at the top with the square behind it, also gives her some really sharp edges to go with those innocent looking curls. And I think that the bears are really nice with the claws showing, etc., because we have to remember that they're scary enough that in the story, you know, this makes this very bad little girl vow to be good in the future. They have to be scary. They can't look like teddy bears she could take up and pull into the bed with her, etc. So I think, you know, you reflect really the story very well there, understanding the story very well. Yes, there are always tweaks, and I think there are some tweaks you could make to these scenes before you put them in your portfolio at the end as the kind of the perfected slides. But overall, you've done a good job of using the whole thing, the whole screen, the composition's been good. And you've picked good scenes that have allowed you to do some things with it. The bear pointing is very good, the look of dismay on her face, etc., very good. I think that you presented very well. I mean, you're clear, you went through plenty of process work, and that is very, very good. Good presentation.